Hello everybody, and today is July 13th. It's a Sunday, and welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I, Nam, put in my 2 cents about movies. I've been very busy doing lots of things. Now that I no longer work at Blockbuster, I haven't been watching that many movies, but I've been going to the theater more, so maybe it'll seem more like that I'm actually a critic, going to see newer movies as opposed to watching old ones on DVD. Anyway, I think soon I'm going to be signing up for some mail service DVD thing, so I should be getting more movies by then. But I did have a list of a bunch of movies that I didn't review yet, so I wanted to get some of those out of the way, because I'm always behind on those. So let's see, the ones I want to talk about are It's a Boy-Girl Thing, My Mom's New Boyfriend, CharlieBartlett, and Definitely Maybe. So let's just jump right in and just start with It's a Boy-Girl Thing. This movie I watched because, well, there was really nothing else to watch and I wasn't in the mood for a serious movie, so this is actually a comedy. When I started watching it, it seemed really absurd because the premise is there's this boy and there's this girl going to high school. They are next door neighbors, but they hate each other's guts and they've never been friends. So at some point during the movie, they pull one of those Freaky Friday things where they switch bodies, except instead of like a mom-daughter thing, it's a people who hate each other, boy-girl. I don't know how to explain it, but so it's a girl in a guy's body and a guy in a girl's body, and the girl is more or less like a vegetarian, and the guy isn't, and there's strange things going on there, and then there's football, and alright, needless to say, this movie is kind of all over the place, but it's slightly amusing. I actually thought it was well done for what it is, because by the end of the movie it's more of a drama than it is a comedy. But it's very cheesy, and it's fairly predictable. I didn't think there was any crazy surprises. But I kind of liked it. I thought it was amusing. So, based off of that, you do what you want. If it sounds like something you want to watch, by all means go ahead. But if it's not, then obviously don't. So don't worry about it. But that's called It's a Boy-Girl Thing. So, alright, next up is My Mom's New Boyfriend. This movie is actually a strange surprise because it stars a couple big stars, Antonio Banderas and Meg Ryan and Selma Blair, and it's kind of an interesting premise. So Meg Ryan is this woman who has a son who works for the son works for the FBI, and he's searching for like this famous thief, and he comes home to visit mom, and he finds out that she is dating this new guy, and he happens to fit the new suspect, what they're looking for. So anyway, it seems like that this was going to be a pretty stereotypical, predictable kind of, action drama movie or whatever, but it's actually an action comedy and a drama movie all rolled up into one. And the reason why I don't immediately bash this movie is because at the end of the movie, there was at least one plot twist that I wasn't really expecting. So I thought it was pretty interesting the way it ended up, but it's actually very cheesy, somewhat predictable, not like totally, but there's a lot of funny parts to it, so it actually kept me going. I think I'm going to disagree with a lot of people who anticipate that this movie is going to be utterly terrible. I actually didn't think it was that bad, so it's probably worth a watch. I'd actually recommend it to somebody. Only if you don't like cheesy stuff, because as I said, it's very cheesy. So, alright, next up is CharlieBartlett. Now, this is a movie that I was really excited to watch. CharlieBartlett is this comedy drama starring some kid who plays this boy who ends up getting expelled from every private high school that he goes to. So his mom puts him in a public high school and just to see what happens there. And this kid actually ends up giving psychiatric services to his fellow student body, and wow, that really came out wrong, fellow student body. Anyway, so he ends up giving psychiatric help, and the medication that he provides is his own medication from, you know, his psychiatrist. So, anyway, interesting things go from there. If you ever saw the trailer, that's pretty much what you saw of it. But it's a very well-developed, clever, witty, funny story, and I definitely recommend it. Charlie Bartlett is definitely a thumbs up. Definitely, you have to watch it. So, alright, next up is Definitely Maybe. Now, this is also an interesting movie. I've been advertising this as basically a romantic comedy that isn't your normal romantic comedy, so it follows this different romantic comedy formula. But, anyway, big things I wanted to say about it is, the reason why it's different is because Ryan Reynolds plays this father of a girl who is his daughter in the movie, and he tells her a story about the three loves of his life. He changes up the names so that the young girl doesn't know who her mother is, and they play this really, you know, strange game where the young girl's trying to figure out which one of the women is her mother. So, I thought this movie was actually a very good, interesting, well thought out movie, because the character, you know, perspectives is very interesting. It seems fairly realistic up to, you know, certain points. There's some ridiculous things that happen in the movie, but it's never too outrageous or too over the top, and the things that happen in it seem fairly reasonable. So, definitely recommend Definitely Maybe. So, I definitely think that's worth a watch. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will try to keep this up. Hopefully I didn't stutter too much, because I'm trying to get away from that. But anyway, have a good night. Enjoy the movies.